Tonight on Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, we discussed that is Ty Lue the right guy to lead the Clippers to a championship? We'll discuss that. The WNBA and NBA comparison pay talk is rampant again, so we'll discuss that and much more here tonight. Live here on Speaker Radio for IE Sports Radio, your direct feed that is all sports. And you're welcome to join us. And join us as you shall tonight. We're going to get into a lot of topics tonight. We're officially in the NBA off season. Good topics tonight. A lot of front office talk and all that stuff. But before we dive into it, D-Lock, how you doing tonight, sir?
Everything is good, man. From Tampa, so my Tampa teams are playing very well. My Central Florida teams are playing very good. The Devil Rays are actually going to the World Series for the second time. The Bucks look very good against the Packers today, so I'm feeling pretty good, man. What about you?
Feeling pretty good. The Titans are 5-0, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Alabama beat Georgia last night. Whooped on them pretty good. They're very well in the second half. So I'm feeling good right now. And shout out to everybody in the chat tonight. Thank you for joining us. Terry's in the chat. Hoping, the Dodgers make it. Don't worry, Terry. The Braves will choke artists and they'll lose and your Dodgers will be in. So don't worry about that.
Yeah. It's going to be kind of tight, especially with the Dodgers having Mookie Betts there. A couple other pieces. So watch out for them.
And I guess, we'll stay in, I guess that Central Florida theme and whatnot. The NBA bubble, the NBA season has wrapped up, D-Lock. I just want to get some, what's your final thoughts of everything about the bubble? Like how everything was orchestrated, the testing, the whatnot, the pros and cons of it. What are your final thoughts of everything that transpired with this bubble in Orlando?
To be honest, first of all, I think it was successful. Obviously, it kept the test down, or the positive test down. Kept a lot of people safe. Obviously, you had a couple, a little news pop up with Lou Williams with. A couple people leaving for little reasons in the beginning. And then, after that, the bubble was successful. I mean, people stayed in. They really didn't leave that much. A few people would leave. You go see their, like a family emergency, as if like their wife was having a baby or something like that. I think Gordon Hayward actually stayed in the bubble, during the playoffs while his wife had their child. So we've seen different things. Also, later on, we did see families come in the bubble to cheer on, their fathers and their husbands and their sons. So I think it was overall successful. To be honest, the NBA showed how they were ready and prepared for being in a position where, they have to get the season rolling when everything is kind of chaos in the country and in the world. So I think it was successful. To be honest, also, I think one thing that we did see that was taken away with it being a bubble was there was no home court advantage. I think that played a part in some of these, seeding games and playoff games. I think that played a huge part. Usually we see teams go to one play, maybe two games in one place and then go 2 games or try the other, or they'll figure it out that way, depending on the advantage of either team. But we didn't see that. It's kind of like they were playing basketball at the courts down the street by their house. They just kept going back to the same courts, and they still got it done. I mean, honestly, we watched from TV, not any fans there like that. So making sure we were social distancing. So I think it was still successful because we didn't see a massive number of positive tests come out of the bubble. So, and obviously the Lakers, they stayed focused. That's the reason why the Lakers signed LeBron, because they know he would keep his team focused on the task at hand. And, if anything, we didn't hear anything too much about the Lakers at all throughout the bubble. Maybe a couple things, but not really anything. So they were focused. They deserve it. They played well. So I feel like because this bubble, if hopefully not something like this were to occur again, we will be as prepared, or if not better.
I think for me, it was kind of like a gamble going to Florida. I mean, I know you live in Florida, and DeSantis kind of have kept things open relative to what's going on around the world, especially in the U.S. regarding COVID. But I think that's kind of like, the NBA had to play devil's advocate with that. It's like, okay, it's probably not the best ideal situation because, the leadership's not taking it seriously, but still we try and get this money in and we try and get the job accomplished. So, we had to bite this bullet and get things done. Like, business is business. And what we saw was like a business transaction. It's like the government, hey, I'll open the state up to y'all. Y'all come down. Y'all handle business. And that's exactly what we saw. Like you mentioned, besides like Lou Williams and what's that fool's name for Sacramento Kings? Richaun Holmes, who couldn't stay in his boundaries and was staying in quarantine most of the time. It was successful. You hear no stories. Well, except for Daniel House. You hear no wild stories. Everybody was cool. I think, some of these guys, couldn't adapt to staying in one place for a very long time or a confined area for a very long time. And it was like a mental gymnastics, mostly. You could ball and hoop my stuff like that. But I think we talked about this multiple times before. These guys are creatures of habit. And some of these guys who couldn't do their regular routines or couldn't do other things they accustomed to kind of felt that pressure. So, and, credit to the Lakers having that strong mind and staying in and getting the job done. I know LeBron, would love to be home with his kids and, his eldest son, acting a fool on social media. I bet you LeBron will wish he was home to kind of curb that type of behavior.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of sacrifice you have to make being there. But overall, I think everything went great. We've seen the other videos, not just the player side, but we've seen the reporters, the food people, how much they job going into it, the people, doing the mail, all that stuff. It was a whole effort from everybody. So, can they do this again if the situation come down to it? Yes. Will they do it again? I mean, I'll ask you this: will they do this again, or are they going to have people in their own arenas next year, wherever that may be?
I mean, obviously, if we don't have COVID going on, I believe that they would rather have people go in their own you know, own homes or own, arenas, but it just depends on, what's going on in the world at the time. I think that it would be brighter. It'd be a brighter idea, to do that. Obviously, the biggest thing about the only arena is what we want to have fans, right? That was my biggest takeaway from this bubble is the fact that the fans not being